Serving their community is who they are because they love where they live. REMAX 3D Real Estate is proud to bring you Heart of Greenville, a video series dedicated to celebrating all the wonderfully great things about Greenville, Texas. On every episode, Tanisha Denny will share Greenville's story through the stories of people who call Greenville home. This is Heart of Greenville.
Thank you for watching Heart of Greenville. I asked Luanne Dickens to come on my show because she has a heart and passion for our community, and more specifically, our downtown. She is determined to make a difference. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Luanne as she talks about her dreams for our downtown. Hey y'all, I'm Tanisha Denny, your host of Heart of Greenville, and today we're on the 3rd floor at the landmark on Lee Street in the room called The Landing, and I am so proud to introduce my guest, Miss Luanne Dickens. How are you today, Luanne?
Just great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for making time to come and share your story with us. I've known about Greenville Floral basically all of my life, and I knew you from Altrusa back in the early 2000s when my mom and I were members. And I love you, and I love what you do in our community and what you provide, but I don't know your story. And so I was like, Luanne needs to come on the show, and we need to hear Luanne's story. But let's start with this. I know you love Greenville. You don't live here, and you're not from here per se, but your heart is for Greenville. So let's start off by talking about what do you love about Greenville?
One thing I love is the people. The people are so nice, so friendly. I mean, it's just a happy place to be. And I come from a bigger part of Arizona. I came from Phoenix, and coming to a smaller, slower pace of life is another reason I just love it.
How old were you when you came to Greenville, when you came this way? Did you spend all of your teenage years and growing up in Arizona?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my family is all still in Arizona, but my husband told me this was paradise and brought me here, and I think it's pretty close to paradise.
Oh, that says a lot that you feel like it's paradise coming from Arizona. So was he from Greenville? How did he convince you this was paradise?
Well, he was born in Tyler, but
Okay.
he lived in Miller Grove, and that's where all his aunts and uncles live. So he would come here every summer and work on the dairy farms and just loved it. And so we started coming on vacation. And one trip here, I got with his cousin, and we went and started looking at houses without him even knowing, and decided this would be a much better place to raise a family here. And so we went and got him and took him to the house we liked, and he was in shock and put an offer on it, and next thing we know, we're moving to Texas.
Oh, wow. So what did he say when you said, hey, I found our next home, and it's in Texas?
He just got this look on his face, and he thought, no, wait a minute, are you serious? And I said, yes, we're serious. You want to go? And he said, let's go.
Oh.
And it was ideal, out in the country, not far from his aunt and uncle. And our boys were going to work on the dairy farm, and we had it all planned, the little school in Miller Grove for them. It was a big change, slower pace of life, but the family fit right in.
Now, how old were you guys when you did that? How long ago was that when you moved back?
It's been 35 years.
Okay, so for 35 years, you came back to paradise. And
Yeah, right.
So you raised your kiddos here then?
Yes, we sure did. And, it's just, like I say, out in the country, and it's just, we really love it.
That's really neat. So you've had Greenville Floral now for 35 years. So did you start that when you came back then?
Yes, sure did. I had a flower shop in Phoenix and sold it, and came back here and worked at a flower shop for a little while, but it was nothing like what I was used to. And so we came to Greenville because there was 7 flower shops in Sulphur Springs, and so we came to Greenville, and there wasn't a Greenville Floral and Gifts, and so opened it up and started it from scratch.
Oh, wow. Now, what did your husband do?
Well, he was he's a welder, and he builds metal fences and buildings and all that. So, but we had a trucking company back there.
Okay.
So when we first moved here, he kept the trucking company, but as the kids got to be teenagers, I needed him to be at home a little bit more, so he started farming.
Okay. So I guess he was always supportive of your dream of...
Oh, yeah, he backed me. He's real good at it.
So what made you fall in love with flowers and having your own floral and gift shop?
Well, I started working at a flower shop in high school, and so I worked there part-time and part-time at a dress shop. So, but I went work there, and I was going to go to Greeley, Colorado, to a design school. And went up and found me a place, and another girl was going with me. Well, the owner of the shop asked me to stay because he said, I'll train you this summer, because even though you go to school, I'm going to have to retrain you.
Yes.
Hands-on and from what you're going to learn at school. So I just stayed there, and they trained me all summer, and I ended up being the manager of the shop.
Oh, wow. So
A few years later. Yeah.
Well, and there's more to it than what people realize.
Oh, yes.
I figured that out. If I try to put an arrangement together, it does not look like yours at all.
A lot of people say they want to work at a flower shop because it'd be so much fun. It is fun, and we enjoy it, but it's a lot of hard work during the holidays, too.
It is. It has to be. And then keeping them alive and keeping the flowers fresh. And because I know every time I send a bouquet or receive one from your office, it's like they're so fresh and beautiful. And I know you guys also work hard to make them personalized.
Yes, we do. And during this COVID right now, it's still so hard to get flowers.
Is it?
Yes, they're not shipping them in and all that as much. And I didn't think it would affect us, but it has. But we're determined to get the freshest flowers in we can.
Where do you get flowers? How do you get them? I guess you order them in bulk?
Yeah, we get them from a wholesaler in Dallas, and they might get them in from, a lot of it is from California and then overseas, just all different places, wherever they can get them right now.
Right. So your location that's on Wesley Street, I still drive by and remember when that was Taco Bell.
Right, right.
When did you move to that location?
Well, we were in the shopping center down there where Hastings and all that wasn't when it burnt.
Okay.
So it burnt to the ground, and I had a wedding that weekend, and there was a prom. Oh, no. So I was determined we were still going to do it. So we went over on Joe Ramsey to Maysland Shopping Center, opened it up. I went to Dallas and started rebuying things. We were able to do the wedding plus the prom flowers that next weekend.
I was going to say, how much time did you have?
We had
one
a
week
yes.
to pull that off.
Yes.
Oh, Luanne.
And I was determined. I thought, I'm just not ready to give up.
Right.
And so we went over there, but all the wedding equipment happened to be in a back building, so it didn't burn. And also the orders were on a clipboard to where we could get back in there and get them. And we were able to do it all that weekend. So I thought, okay, we're on a roll.
What a blessing.
Yes, it really was. It really was. And so then somebody had called me and told me about the old taco building.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, that would be a great location. And, of course, different people wouldn't put contracts in on it, but it had to be a business that did not sell food and had all kinds of qualifications, but I fit them all.
Wow.
So it turned out wonderful, and was able to build onto it and make it not look quite like Taco Bell.
You wouldn't know it was Taco Bell unless you grew up here and
exactly.
remember going there.
Right. And I did leave the arch windows where you ordered and all that, so that kind of gives it away. But then I tried doing a new front on it a couple years ago. But
I love your front glass. It reminds me of New York. It reminds me of Manhattan, when you're walking down the streets and you see these beautiful displays in the window. I always look over every season. I'm like, okay, what does Luanne have in the front glass this month?
Well, thank you. I love doing them. And my daughter grew up in the flower shop. She was a teacher, but she worked all through college there and mainly did my display windows, and I sure miss her.
Oh. I bet. So now you have another location.
Right. We opened up, it was a flower gift and boutique shop, and that building had sold, and the boutique part had gone so good that we'd kind of done away with some of the flowers down there so that I could have more room for clothes. My husband had a hard time understanding that, but it worked out good.
Well, he has to remember when you were in high school, though, you still worked in a dress shop.
Yes, and so that's always been something I've wanted to do, too. So that's how I kind of edged it in at the flower shop. And so the building is sold, and an investor's going to put apartments in it. So I've just had to move down the street next to Ashland Rose, and it's worked out real good.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of activity on this end of Floyd Street as well, so that'll be a great location for
Right,
you.
and I'm determined to help build downtown. That's what I want to do. I just think our downtown can be a great thing for everybody, and it's worked out good. It really
That's
has.
wonderful. I do like you being, I find I'm on this end more with the Texan and the Ashen Rose.
Yes.
And so that's great. You can just pop in and get your gifts and place your orders. And
Right.
I love that you have accounts so I can just call and order flowers and you just send me a bill.
Yeah, that's right. That works out good for a lot of
works out
people.
great.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Well, so what is your next step? So you're moving down to the Ashen Rose, and then you have another project that you just took on that I want to talk about. Let's talk about Luanne's Mary of Puddin Hill. How in the world did you pull that off? I feel like you resurrected Mary of Puddin Hill.
Well, I'm trying. Since they moved, it'd be 6 years ago, I still carry their candy and everything at the flower shop. So I've kept connections with them, and they've done my strawberries every Mother's Day and Valentine's Day, and the chocolates. And I really wanted to do it at that location, but didn't have the room. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to be able to carry a lot of their product and make it like a gift shop like it was out there. And so many people miss that, and that's what Greenville's known for.
Yes.
So I thought if I put it downtown, it would attract the travelers out on the interstate to bring them downtown.
Yes.
And it has done wonderful.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I was on 30 yesterday, and I looked over and I saw the old Mary Puddin Hill building, and then I looked over and saw your billboard, and I'm like, oh, that was genius. Anyone who's still looking for that location can look over and see, oh, now it can be downtown. And I love that because you're putting your money where your heart is.
Yes, that's
downtown.
what I'm trying. Yes, I mean, I think we were almost a little bit more than what they expected because we ran out of fruitcakes.
Did you?
We ran out of every one of their products for Christmas. So I was blessed.
That's a huge blessing.
Yes, yes. And I told them to gear up for Valentine's Day.
Yes. I was talking to Angela about that. She said,
Yeah.
you are going to have the chocolate covered strawberries, and those were our favorites to come by and pick up. And I know you did that. You still did that over
The Wesley
last few
Street,
years.
yeah, at Greenville Floral, I sure did. So we're doing that again, but I'm having so many people coming off the interstate, and they're coming from Texarkana, Louisiana, everywhere, and they see the sign, and they're just, people have been out taking pictures
Oh, I love that.
of their kids because they have pictures of them when they were at the Puddin Hill store.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
we're bringing back memories, we're bringing people downtown.
That's fantastic. Are they seeing it off of the interstate? Is
Yes.
that where they're seeing it?
Yes.
The power of the billboard.
Well, and then it has been all over Facebook and people
Yes.
sharing it, but people are thanking us. Every time they come in, they just thank us for doing that.
So how did you pick your color scheme? I noticed it's black and white.
Well, it's because the building next door is red, and I wanted to stand out from the building next door, and I had the room for the big pictures of the fruitcake and everything. So somebody helped me with that.
Okay. I like it. No, it's clean and fresh, and I like it. So, but I thought, Luanne has a reason she picked these colors.
Right. And then, of course, I've got the original sign from Mary Puddin Hill inside the store.
I love that.
And I have their original counters because, display counters, because I bought those at the auction.
Oh.
So I've got a few other pieces. And when I bought it, I didn't know that I was going to do this, but I thought, oh, this might work.
When did you decide you wanted to take this path? What made you do that? What made you, I mean, I know you have a heart for it, but there's a story. What is it?
Well, somebody just came up to me with a suggestion and asked me how I was doing at the Wesley Street store. And I told them, and they told me, they said, well, have you thought of that? And I said, yes, but I don't have the space. And I said, I would really like to bring it downtown. And so they agreed with me and said it was good. And I went home and told my husband, and my daughter didn't talk to me for about a week. But she said, Mother, do you really think you need to do that? You're getting older. And I looked at her and I said, don't even say that.
No way.
So that made me determined.
Exactly. I was going to say, she put the accelerator down by saying that.
Right. But I thought, this is an advantage to go for it. And I just did. And I thought, okay. And I have a wonderful girl that's helping me run it that's been in the food industry and all that for years. And so it's worked out real good. If they can just keep up with my orders, it'd be better.
That's a great problem to have.
Yes.
Now, do you have soups and sandwiches like they had at Mary Puddin Hill as well?
Not yet, but we want to do that in the future. But of course,
we're missing that
Yes.
in Greenville. That is one thing that we don't have anymore. Is we don't have kind of that tea room or just go in and have a soup and salad, sandwiches, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's on down the road.
Okay.
We only had like 2 weeks to get it all set up and ready. because I wanted to be open before Thanksgiving because I know that's one of their big seasons. So I said, we've got 2 weeks to do it. And we did it.
You work fast.
I tried.
The fire in a week and then 2 weeks of opening up your Luanne's Mary Puddin Hill. That's incredible. That is
thank
incredible.
you.
Where does this drive come from? You have incredible drive and strength and just tenacity to just get it done. Where did that come from?
I'm just determined. And my family supports me too. Okay. My husband is fantastic. He helps me so much with all of it. I've got a honey-do list almost every day. He's down in Palestine picking up product today. But no, when I want to get something accomplished, I just go for it. And so I'm thinking I can do this.
So what do you tell the generation behind us? How do they get that? How do other women, how do they get that drive and determination and get that in their lives? You're a trendsetter. You're blazing a trail and making a difference.
Well, thank you. I just think be determined. And when I'm determined to do something, I go over every bridge I've got to go over to get to the bottom of it. But yeah, and enjoying what you're doing. Do something that you enjoy and you'll get more energy to do it.
That is so true. It just, once you find your passion, you never feel like you're working.
Right, exactly.
And you just keep going.
Except after a holiday.
Yeah. This is true. I had someone tell me one time, they're like, well, that's a speed bump. I'm just going to go around it, instead of stopping and letting it slow you down, just go around it and keep going.
Exactly.
You do that very well.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
So let's talk about Altrusa. You've been a part of Altrusa for a long time, and I know that's been a big part of your heart. And so share with everyone, maybe a lot of people don't know what Altrusa is. Let's talk about what you do and why you enjoy serving in that capacity.
Let's see, I've been in Altrusa for 25 years, and I've done the tour of homes over 15 years, which I really, really enjoy. But it's a nonprofit organization, and our main thing is about literacy. We do so many different things for the community, and then again, that's why I stay, because I see what we're doing for the community. Yeah. And we have our Golden Agers, which is our older people. Once a month we have activities with them, which is wonderful. And
are you still able to do that right now?
Right now we're not, but we're doing little one-on-ones. Different committees do it, and we're trying to let them know that we're still here for them, and then we still check on them.
I love the Valentine dance. It was a Valentine event that you would do for them when Mom and I were in it back in the early 2000s.
Yes, and we need to get back to some of that, I really do believe. But we do different activities for every holiday for them and that, and they look forward to it.
They do. I know, we get busy in our lives every day, but it meant so much just to sit down and say hello and talk about their day and talk about what's on their mind. And sometimes they just wanted you to talk.
Yes, that's right, because they don't have anybody to talk to.
Right.
And we even go to some of the nursing homes and pick them up, and the ladies tell us that they start getting ready at 8 o'clock that morning. They have their clothes out and getting ready because they know we're going to pick them up at 5:30. So, that does something to your heart too.
It does. Well, and I always think I'm going to be there someday.
Right. That's right. That's what I think. And, that's another reason I do make somebody smile, with Teleflorals, take all of them in the nursing homes, smiley face mug of flowers, because they enjoy that so much that I think I'm going to be there someday. Maybe somebody will do this for me, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to pay that forward.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me about that. You deliver smiley face flowers. When do you do that each year?
Well, it's different. Most of the time it's in March. This time of last year it was canceled, and this year I believe it's going to be canceled again. So I'm so disappointed in it, but we did, I think, 492 last year.
Wow. And you just deliver them to the local nursing homes?
Yes.
And because they were like those little yellow smiley faces with a little bouquet of flowers inside.
Yes.
I love that you do that.
It just puts a smile on their face, and I get so many thank yous. And some of them don't have anybody.
I know.
So one of the men said, "Oh, honey, I don't think that's for me." And I said, "Yeah, honey, it is." And he said, "No, nobody. I don't have nobody." And I said, "It's from me." And that just touched my heart. I'll never forget that. And I said, "I just wanted to make you smile today." And he said, "Well, I can smile." So it's just something that I enjoy doing.
Yeah. And that's what life's all about.
Yes.
Just making someone's day. And it's just, you can do it in the smallest of ways. You know, I think
Right.
sometimes we think we have to do these grand, big things for people, but we don't. Just that simple, this is for me today.
Right. That's another reason I enjoy doing the Good Neighbor Day, because I give a dozen roses out to them, and then you keep one for yourself, and then you go to your neighbors or other people and make them happy by giving them a rose. And I usually do 2,000 roses a year for that.
Wow. Okay, so how does that work? Like people just come and buy?
Just come in.
Okay,
They
you
just come in and I hand them a dozen roses.
Is that a certain day of the year?
Well, they've changed that too.
Okay.
So this year it's not going to be, and I'm very disappointed, but...
I'm like, I want to do this.
I know. And once I get more people to know about it, then they come to
Yes.
get the roses. And, we just hand them out, and it's the first, people that come to get them. And we just ask them if they just keep one for themselves
Yes.
and go hand out the other 11 individual people.
Oh, I love that. Okay, when you can do it again, let me know. I
Okay,
wanna do
I'll
that.
let you know. Okay, I'll tell Angela, be sure and let you know
Yes.
on that one.
And she's great about that. Your customer service with Angela, man, it is phenomenal. She'll call me. I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but she reminds me when it's Administrative Assistance Day. She reminds me when I have things coming up that I might want to send
That's her
flowers
job.
to. But it's such a personal touch.
Yes.
Yes, we can see it on a calendar. Yes, Google's going to tell us, it's going to pop up, but it's not the same as Angela texting me and saying, hey, don't forget next week is Administrative Assistance Day, because I want to take care of my people.
Right.
And so, in business, you get super busy and, doing your things, and you don't want to forget to
Right.
recognize. So
Right.
I think you've done a fantastic job on that customer service
Well,
level.
thank you.
So
Thank you.
Tell me some other things. I'm learning all kinds of things that you do, and these are things that you choose to do as Luanne Dickens.
That's right.
This is not because anyone else does it. It's because your heart desires to do that.
When I had my flower shop in Arizona, I did a festival of trees. So I let up to 12 people, when I was in my big building, come and set a tree up, a Christmas tree up, and then all during the month of November, people could come and vote on which tree they liked best, and all that money went to that organization. And then we had an auction at the end, right before Christmas, so that people could buy a tree already decorated, and then auctioned the trees off, and all that money went to the organization.
Is it a different organization each year?
Whoever applies for it.
Okay.
I let the top 12 usually, able to put a tree up and do it. But I felt like that way you can help so many individual organizations at one time.
Yes, and they need it.
Yes.
I'm learning, especially right now, so many of our local organizations have such a shortfall in their budgets.
Yes.
Because there's been so much cut from if they're receiving grants and those sorts of things.
Right.
There are a lot of organizations not getting that. So I love that you're able to contribute to multiple.
Yeah, all at one time.
Yes, and at Christmas time.
Right.
It's so needed too.
So this year we didn't get to do it, and I was real disappointed. But I'm going to try and find a location that we can do it at for next year, and hopefully next year we'll be getting a little more back to normal.
Yes.
So that'll work real good.
Just find a way. Just
Yeah.
find a way to make it safe and
Yeah,
and
that's right.
push through that. And
Exactly.
who decorates the trees?
The organization usually does.
Okay, so each one of those, the recipients
Yes.
are the ones who decorate
Yes, they
it.
bring the tree and decorate it, and then we auction it off.
That is so fun. It's kind of like a mini tour of homes,
Yes.
a little bit.
Yeah, you can go to them. And we, Janine and Bob and I started the Downtown Stroll.
Oh, I didn't know you guys are the ones that started that. I
Yes,
love the
and
Downtown
it's
Stroll.
wonderful. Yes, and I want to get back to doing that again too. But it brought so many people out, and everybody said it was like it used to be years ago. Just go from store to store, Christmas music, decorated.
Yes.
And so that was really good. But that was in part when people would come through and vote on their favorite tree. So that helped a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of the Bras for Cause.
Yes, yes.
When you go through and vote.
Right. And I loved used to be in a place where they could display the bras too. So
Yes.
now that I've got rid of that big building, it's kind of sad, but we've relocated, and I was determined to stay downtown. So it all worked out really good.
Is your space smaller next to
Yes,
the
it's a
Ashton
lot
Rose?
smaller, about
Okay.
half the size, but that's okay. I'm still downtown.
That's right.
So-
well, you just might have to get a third building.
Oh, I don't know if my husband would go for that, but like I said, he said, "What were you thinking?" I asked you, and you said it would be great.
Yes. Let's talk about one more thing. Your heart is for this downtown. Tell me, what does downtown look like for you? If you could dream what our downtown would look like and you could plan it all, what would it look like?
I would like to go back to the red brick paved, because I know there's red brick underneath there. And I would love to go back to that, to where people would drive a little bit slower downtown, and look at how beautiful downtown Greenville could be. Nice, street lights, just decorated and make it attractive to where people want to stop.
Yes.
And I just think if we could get some of these empty buildings filled up and get everybody on board, and we've got some good ideas rolling around.
Good.
So I'm trying to help bring people to downtown, and I just think it can work.
I believe that too. I had forgotten about the red brick, and once you said that, I'm like, oh, I remember that when I was a kid. There is red brick underneath all of the asphalt.
And we've tried that a couple times, but I still haven't given up on it. But if we could get the big trucks from going through there, which is so bad, and like they hit the side of our building where we were 3 different times. And
it's a hard curve.
Yes, it really is. And so I know they're really supposed to be going out and going down 69, but their GPS still brings them downtown.
Yes.
But if we could just get them to where people could walk downtown a little easier,
yes,
it would be a lot better. But there's still hope, and we're still going to bring more people downtown and get it to where everybody wants to come downtown Greenville.
Well, between you and Janine and Bob, y'all are mover and shakers.
Well,
if anybody can make it happen, it's the 3 of you.
I know, we miss Janine tremendously, but anyway, she still supports us and everything, but yeah, we'll get it going again.
She does. Oh, and then all the things Barbara Haran does for downtown as well.
Yes, and she's backing it all, and I heard she was glad I moved down to closer to that side of town.
I bet she is.
Yeah, and from the Mary Puddin Hill store, since it was a coffee shop, we send people every day to the Texan for the coffee shop.
Yes.
They're looking for a coffee shop, and we might have some different coffees later on, but we are selling Mary Puddin Hill coffee, but they want it in a cup to drink.
Right. They want it right now to drink
exactly.
it. Yes, but that's great. You're supporting one another.
Yes, that's right.
Because they don't sell coffee beans, and so they can send them down to you.
Right, and we send people for lunch to Asher and Rose, or Ain't Just Pies,
Right.
We just, once we get Max open again, I think it'll be great.
I know. Oh, I love Max too. I'm ready for that to be able to be back open.
Yes.
So it's changed the landscape of downtown.
Yes.
For sure. Well, Luanne, I've had a wonderful conversation with you. I want to ask my last question, though. I told you to pick a random number, and you picked 15. Here's your question. What was the last experience that made you a stronger person?
Oh, boy. And she didn't ask me this ahead of time.
No, I didn't.
I think probably moving to Texas and us starting a whole different new life, and it made me determined to step out of my box and try some things that I've always thought about doing. And I just don't believe I could have in Phoenix, but coming to Greenville, I wasn't scared.
Wow. Why do you think you weren't scared?
Well, it's just a different environment here. And like I say, a slower pace of life. The people are so much friendlier here. I just felt like it would be easier to do what I've been wanting to do.
That's incredible. To say that's what made you the strongest, that was 35 years ago.
Yes.
And you're still going strong.
Yes. My husband keeps saying, we're getting older.
Age is only a state of mind.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Luanne, I just want to thank you so much for all that you do for our community, for everyone here. I know how much you love and adore your employees, but I love your heart and your service, and thank you for giving back to our downtown specifically and helping to lead that charge. So you're making a difference, so keep going.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching Heart of Greenville. This video series, which is designed to celebrate Greenville, Texas, is spearheaded by REMAX 3D Real Estate.